the camera recording there, Dale. The film's rolling.
Oh, good. Film's rolling.
Yeah. And audio's good. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
It's fall and everyone's getting ready for winter. And here to help is Mr. Clean, Procter & Gamble's new all-purpose liquid cleaner. 'Cause it's time for fall house cleaning. And Mr. Clean is the all-time champ of all kinds of cleaning.
Hey, girlfriend, what's the dilly? Yo?
The Morning Stream. We're not toys, we're action figures.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It is the morning stream for Thursday, September 14th, 2023. I'm Scott. He's Brian.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thursday, last day of our normal broadcast week, and we're happy to be here for you guys, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're here. We got Wendy. We got all the stuff. So just, stick around. We had a great pre-show about how to stop raccoons from dicking around with your stuff.
Well, we hope we do. I mean, we don't know for sure, but gonna try a couple things and see if I can get some raccoon protection for my bird buddy bird feeder thingy.
Yeah, because how can you have any birds if you got those raccoons all the time,
How can you have any birds
if you don't eat
you
your
don't
meat?
eat your meat?
Yeah, eat your meat. But it's the thing with these birds. Birds are kind of dicks too, right? But they got nothing on raccoons. Raccoons are just...
Oh, gosh, no. Yeah. Trash pandas. No,
yeah. That's what they call them. I'd love a little domesticated one, but that ain't going to happen.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Barry, we were talking about this pre-show too, but Barry and our listening audience, Barry and Bobby Ann, they both have befriended local...
Like 8 raccoons that come to their backyard on the regular.
Yep, and they've named them and know what they look like. And all that kind of stuff. That's pretty cool.
By the way, did you got a voicemail from Barry about wine? And,
did I?
I was hoping you'd play it. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't checked my voicemails yesterday. Did they come yesterday? Probably did.
He sent us a photo of his wine aroma thing, and it says to go with the voicemail. So
right, let's see if I can find which voicemail it is, because there are many.
I'm sorry to spring this on you now during the show.
Do you know if it was...
I know nothing else about it.
Well, let's see. We'll do a little preview here. Let's see what we got. Okay, so this one is this one.
Hey, Scott, Brian. It's Amy.
Nope, that's Amy. Let's try this. Not that we won't play yours, Amy. These are all just, I'm seeing them raw.
Yep.
Hey, this is for the morning stream.
That's Barry. All right.
Oh, it is Barry. Yep. Okay.
So I'm going to download that real quick.
God, he sounds so different over the phone. I swear to God.
He does. He's a man of mystery. Okay, so I'm just going to make this nice and loud so I can hear it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to play it. Okay, save. All right, here we go. Let's see what Barry had to say. Whoops, hit play.
Hey, this is for the morning stream. Hey, Scott and Brian, it's Barry with his wine box. I'm listening to TMS 2519 and your discussion on earthy wines. Wine can definitely have aromas of dirt, white stone, grass, even mushrooms. Brian's right on about how wine can pick up some of these aromas from the grapes, the barrels, fermentation processes even. I'm sending over the wine aroma wheel through email so you can look at that. Some of these are really, really weird. Well, anyway, I continue to do copious amounts of research and learning more. Love the show, though, and Brian, I'll see you in a few days.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Barry. That's right. So he sent you what's this wheel?
He sent both of us a wheel. I'll put a link, or actually I'll put a copy of it in our Discord chat. And I'll try to anyway. There we go. It's a 12.35 megabyte image.
Plenty small for me to grab. Here it is.
Yep.
Oh yeah, look at this. Holy crap. This is like this is serious, you guys. Okay, so this wheel, we're going to have to zoom in some here. Let's see.
So, like, for example, there is the earthy wines, which have a earthy, moldy, dusty, mushroom, moldy cork kind of aroma to them.
So we got these categories in the middle. It's interesting. Woody, earthy, chemical, oxidized, microbial, floral, spicy, fruity. What's that one say? Herbivore. I can't read it upside down.
Herbaceous.
There it is. Herbaceous, vegetalis, nutty.
Vegetative.
We got nutty caramel. Caramel's a category? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that.
It's got hints of honey, butterscotch, butter, soy sauce, chocolate, and molasses.
Interesting. Yeah, and so then these branch out. So if you have chemical, for example, you have petroleum, sulfur, and pungent. Those all sound bad.
Yeah, they do. None of that sounds good. Ooh, it's got hints of tar, plastic, kerosene, and diesel in it.
Yeah.
Can I not have that wine? I think that's ruin them.
That
I think
sounds,
that's
that's
ruin
ruin 'em. That's your last. That's your final straw if you're drinking. You don't want to go.
Right.
You go no lower than that. There says something here about where is it? There it is. So on the oxidized side, that's interesting. You got oxidized, and then the subcategory is still oxidized, and then the flavor is cherry.
Cherry.
Okay. So how do you know? So
not cherry, but sherry.
Oh, sherry. I can't read this right.
Like a sherry wine.
So the rest of this.
So it's basically like you start at the middle. Like when you're a beginner oenophile, you say, oh, this wine is it's got kind of a fruity aroma to it, or a nutty aroma, or whatever. And then as you get better and you start identifying more, you move to the next ring and you say, oh wow, it's this one. I know I would have described this last time as fruity, but I'm going to narrow it down and say kind of berry.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the microbial, and I'm going to go, oh, this has a very microbial taste. And then I'll say, I've been drinking this wine long enough. I think I'd call it lactic. It's more of a lactic quality.
Right.
And then eventually
I will have... Microbiological, by the way.
Oh, what did I say? Microbial?
You said microbial, yeah.
Yeah, words are good for me today. Then I would finally graduate to sauerkraut, sweaty, and yogurt. I have to choose between those three.
This wine has... I think I'm detecting a little sauerkraut and some sweat, and I think some yogurt in this thing.
A little bit of yogurt and sweat. Boy, who doesn't like that with their dinner?
Yeah, it's
Blah.
That's the wine you want.
Yeah, and then again, I'd have to stay in this cone of fruity. This would hurt. This is where
I
I'd
think
have
so.
to live.
And the caramel, the nutty sounds really good. Walnut, hazelnut, almond. Those all sound good.
Those sound all right.
Even the herbaceous and vegetative. Bell pepper, mint.
Yeah.
Green olive, black olive, artichoke.
But I would say from chemical down through oxidized, and then finally with microbiological. Those are my three categories I'm avoiding.
I'm staying away from about 3:30 to 7 o'clock on that wheel.
What is on the yeasty? On the yeasty one, it says baker's yeast and leesy. What's leesy or leesy? Leese?
Which thing is that? Oh, that's under microbiological. Yeah. Baker's yeast and Leesy.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I don't know. They're going to be a sponsor. It's a mattress that comes in a box.
Okay, good.
It's the new Leesy mattress.
Yeah. You don't buy them, you lease them.
You lease them.
Yeah, they spell that differently so that you get thrown, but or it's it's like Flickr or something. But they want you to buy.
TV's Travis says that's pronounced like lease. Really interesting.
So, well, you say the Y
There's
though.
A Y at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's leasy, right? And not lessy or leasy.
Lease.
How
do you not pronounce the Y? TV's Travis.
Yeah, you must say the Y. The Y can't be silent. Who has silent Ys? Nobody. Nobody
has a silent Y.
All right, I got a few things to go through here. We got an email this morning.
Okay.
This is who's this from? This is from Misplaced Geek. And he says the following. Greetings, Scribius and Blender. Scribus. Sorry. What is Scribus?
I don't know.
Is that I bet that's an app because Blender is the other app. That could be.
Oh, Scribus. Probably like a writing app. Yeah.
Yeah, I can use that. It says here on episode 2521, Scott was talking about the onion beef he's been getting from folks in regards to preferring raw onions on burgers and salads. As a member of Team Raw Onions, I truly enjoy the crunch and flavor from the raw onions. My sister typically hands me all her onions and tomatoes when we get together for family outings and salads are involved. I'm kind of on I don't like tomatoes right now. Now, if you give me a fresh one out of the garden, I'll make it happen. Yeah. But by itself, like kind of where the dominant thing is the tomato, not really into it right now. Don't know why. Just used to be a huge fan of that. These days I'm like, kind of pass, or don't put them in my salad or whatever. But I'm, on a burger.
And I think ones you get at the store that you can get for a while, like Like it seems like for half the season you get these tomatoes and there's no flavor to them at all. You have to like really salt and pepper them up to enjoy them. But both of our neighbors and us are growing a lot of tomatoes, and the crazy neighbors are growing these amazing heirloom tomatoes, big like weird colored dark reds and
Purples, right?
Almost
Some
browns and stuff. Yeah. And they are so freaking good. You don't even need to put salt on them. You don't need to do anything. Just cut it open and eat it, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, we have a whole bush of those, but they're not done yet. I guess we're waiting for another week or something for them to ripen. But they're the big purpley. They have a name.
Yeah.
These actually have a name, and I don't remember the damn name. Kim says it all the time.
Oh, it's not heirloom. It's something different.
Oh, maybe it is heirloom. I can't remember. She told me they were called this, and here's what made them different and all that, and then I forgot it immediately.
Beefsteak, possibly beefsteak tomato. Yeah,
maybe. I don't remember. They're really good though.
Beefsteak.
But even in those cases, I would prefer them on something, rather than by themselves.
Beefsteak tomatoes are neither beef nor steak. Discuss.
It was a good deep pull from the SNL archives.
It was as if Mike Myers was doing Joan Rivers, I think is what that was.
Yeah, there you go. And they are ugly, these tomatoes.
So is Mike Myers.
Well, yeah, he can be. He's a little scony now. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying Mike Myers when he's dressed up as Linda Richmond doing the coffee talk was a little ugly.
Yeah.
No, those tomatoes are ugly because they've got those cracks, like they just come with cracks in them that have like scabbed up.
Yeah.
But they're so good.
That's part of the design. Like, it's so weird. Those are strange tomatoes, but we'll look forward to eating them.
Yeah.
We got another one here from he went on to say red onions are my favorite, to the point that I've hooked my son on them as well, considering his texture sensitivities, as he is on the autism spectrum. I always wondered if he would enjoy them. Now they're a burger requirement, right up there with pickles and mustard for him. Keep on crunching. Noms not work. Gentlemen, Chris, a.k.a. Misplaced Geek. P.S. As a massive Funyuns fan, much to my doctor's dismay, my crunch bias might be on a different scale. Funyuns are neither fun nor onions, but they do taste good. I'll eat them.
Aren't they like freeze dried? Like, what is their deal? They are onions. They're like, but what do they do to them? It's like dehydrated something. What are they?
Let's see, Funyuns. We can find out. Are they mostly, let's see, onion flavor, extruded? Okay, here's their description. I don't like the sound of it already. Funyuns is the brand name of an onion-flavored corn extruded snack.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Look at that. I thought that they were onion-based. So wait, they're all different shapes. They're like going to the effort to make different sized corn extrusions.
Well, are they different shapes? They're all rings, right?
Cornmeal ring-shaped using an extrusion process representing the shape of fried onion rings. Salt and onion mix gives them their flavor.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
No onions.
I thought these were onions. Oh, I'm
all these years later. You know what you were thinking? Yeah. You were thinking like that. I would have thought this until we read this. I would have thought dehydrated onion something.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're in onion-shaped rings. And why bother making them different sizes and shapes if they're really just cornmeal fed out through a tube and turned into a ring?
Yeah.
I
know. It's
next
shocking.
You're going to tell me that pork rinds ain't made from pork. Basically, I thought they were the same thing. I thought basically, not the same thing, but I thought the same process. Whatever they did to the pork to make pork rinds is what they did to the onions to make onions.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'd have been wrong.
So there you go. Well, you were right. I was wrong.
You
were right. They're neither fun nor onions.
I just always felt like whatever I was eating, there was no way a real onion would see it and say, "Oh no, my brother, he was turned into food." Like they just don't resemble real food at all. But I assume there was some onion, something in there.
Yeah, it's onion flavor.
By the way,
BS.
These were born the year you and I were born, so Funyuns have been here since 1969.
Wow. Okay.
Nice. Here's some fun facts. They still make the original Funyuns, but in 2001, it was the first time they branched out into something new, and they made wasabi-flavored Funyuns for 1 year. Can't get those anymore. Flamin' Hots, though. You can still get Flamin' Hot Funyuns since 2007 till today.
I'm tired of the Flamin' Hot.
And chili.
Flamin' Hot is so damn overused.
I agree. Chili and limon or chili, and limon or lemon. 2014 to 2018, so that was a run that's over. And then steakhouse onion, I remember these. We had these once. 2015 to 2018. So right now you can
guess what? Steakhouse onion, still freaking cornmeal pushed through an extruder, and now it's just steakhouse onion flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, listen. I bring back freaking wasabi.
Yeah, that sounds good, doesn't it? It does sound good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna put a fake flavor in there, let's make it something like wasabi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. At least with you get pork rinds, you're getting the rinds of pork.
Yeah, exactly.
They may not be good for you, but
is it like they're protected by the fact that it's spelled with a Y? So as someone is not going to say, well, these are onions. It's like crab with a K. It's like, well, I thought it was crab, but they spell it with a K, so I know it's fake. Funyuns, spelled with a Y, so it's not a real onion.
Yeah, Funyuns. That's so dumb.
Okay, TV's Travis says, Cheetos aren't made of cheese, right? Same thing with Funyuns. Yes, I did not think for any point of time that Cheetos were freeze-dried cheese.
Yeah, I don't think Fritos are freedom toes, okay? Whatever.
Protected from lawsuit, Bobby, like, flagrant misrepresentation.
I guess Funyuns has always said onion-flavored rings underneath it.
Has it? Okay.
Which says, that's at least according to their logo.
It basically just says, I've never looked closely at the bag. I just shove them in my face, apparently.
We just trust the FDA. Yeah. We grab them when we eat them. That's what we do. If you live in Brazil, these are called cebolitos. If you want some Funyuns, just ask for that. Say, I want some flamin' hot cebolitos.
Flamin'.
Yep, flamin' hot. That's how you want to say it when you're in Brazil.
Let's see. Cebolitos?
Yeah.
I just want to see. Cebalitos.
Olitos. You had that right except for the
Cebolitos.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to see what that translates to in Spanish. So hold on a second.
Here's the pictures. These look fine. They look like Funyuns. But what does it say?
Okay, so cebolitos means chives. It's Spanish for chives.
Oh, they not do full onions down there?
I'm sorry, Portuguese.
Okay. Oh yeah, Portuguese, of course. So do they? Yeah. So why not? That's interesting. Focus on chives instead of onions. It's probably the same flavor, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
But
but there's no chives in there either, so just chive flavoring. Lame.
Okay. All right, that is kind of lame. Not really into
Chives.
that.
Chives.
Chives. All right, Ricky Chives. Yeah. Favorite British comedian for a lot of people. All right, there's that. Thanks for that email. Got one on social media and money. Check this one out. Rusty Nails 101. We know, or 102 rather. He writes in or is in the chat and stuff all the time. Anyway, says 2 thoughts that I wanted to share while listening to today's show. Number 1, I don't want to be part of the social media is the worst thing ever crowd, but there's a but.
Okay.
I do feel that social media has given some people, maybe even a lot of people, a very, quote, I am the main character in this life and the rest of you are all extras, unquote, attitude toward the world at large. I'm not sure if it's just correlation, but it feels to me like the birth of social media and widespread aggravated narcissism have come hand in hand. Here's
I think there's something to that. Yeah,
I think there might be. I think you have to. The way I would look at it would be: would those people have all been there? They just now they have a mechanism to express their narcissism, but would they have been narcissists? And it's like does the tree make a noise when it falls and nobody's there in the forest or whatever the phrase is?
Sure.
I think
I mean, do they already have this within them and social media just brought it out, or did it change them fundamentally to where they became this?
Right. Like if you engage in it, then you see what it's giving you. If you don't engage with it, does it affect you at all? Like, does it have any effect? In other words, narcissists in real life that have nothing to do with social media. The fact that they now have a bullhorn like everyone else to say whatever they want, that's the difference, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that is absolutely risen.
Without a bullhorn, and now they're narcissists with a bullhorn.
Yeah.
Basically.
And so to the rest of us, that seems like, there's more of them. Well, no, more of them have access. That's the difference. That's what I think. I think that there's more.
A good theory too.
I think that it's not that there's more of the problem. It's that the problem has way more exposure than it used to have because We didn't have that. You had the newspaper and you had TV, and nobody was on those things. It was very elite few that got to be on TV.
That's right.
Number 2, he says, if you really want to go on the wildest Joey Pants movie ride of your life, you need to see Robot in the Family. Don't look anything up about it. Don't read any reviews or any scores. Dunaway probably has it in his VHS and can send the rest of the film sack family the copy. Love the show, though. Or as he said, love the glow flow. Rusty Nails. I've never heard of this. Never heard of Robot in the Family.
I've never heard of it either. Yeah, I looked just to see if it was available on streaming, but I didn't look anything else up about it. But I do love the title makes me think, oh yeah, this is going to be bad. It's going to be really bad.
Is it recent-ish, or how old are we talking here?
No idea. It's not available anywhere on streaming, so we are going to have to rely on Brian Dunaway to find it in his VHS library and make copies for all of us.
93, it looks like.
Okay.
If he's not the robot, then no sale. Just kidding. I won't look up anything, but if we can find this, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds like crap. Let's get it.
For sure. Oh, it sounds horrible.
Yeah, real bad. Okay. There's that. I got one final email. Lots of emails here.
Okay. Lots of emails. I like this. I like hearing from listeners.
I'd like to push these out a little bit. Here's Will in Austin who says, hey, Stitches and Bandages. Back in 2015, I was given free tickets to see Mad Max Fury Road in IMAX in 3D. Oh, I'll put up the sign. Hold on. There you go, everybody. 0 days.
Reset.
Long story short, the theater was absolutely freezing, and the sound was cranked so loud it was distorted. We complained, but nothing was changed. We weren't the only people complaining. It was a horrible experience, and as a result, it bled over into my opinion of the movie. Fast forward to last week. So how many years are we now? It's 8 years later? 7? Mm-hmm. I thought I'd give it another chance because I had always been a fan of Mad Max franchise before, even beyond Thunderdome. And I have to tell you, and here's the important part, rewatching it in my home with normal temperatures and great sound, it was an amazing movie. I get it now. Will from Austin. He also ends by saying, Flojo outran the Dayglow hobo. See, I'm telling you, whatever your reasons are, come back to the flame and watch it again.
Tina, I guarantee Tina won't. Tina, it was not temperatures. It was not overcranked sound. She just said it just wasn't the movie for her. And if she was there without me, she would have walked out.
Yeah, it was. That was true of some people I went with. When I saw it and found it to be revelatory, there were 2-3 people with us who were like, I can't even believe I'm here. Why am I watching this?
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it was mostly sister-in-laws, and I'm not saying it's all women. I'm not saying that. But I will say the movie is very much catered, I think, to instincts of a more man-related stereotype. Okay? I do think it's geared toward that. So I can understand why it would put off a lot of, people who are maybe a little less into apocalypse and, guns and cars and
of course, yeah. I mean, it is, yeah, exactly. If you didn't like any of the previous Mad Max movies, you're probably not going to like this one because it's a better version. It's the best version of the stuff, a lot of stuff you've seen before, and a lot of new stuff. A lot of new stuff, but yeah.
How does she feel about the old movies? Does she have any opinion on those?
She, I think she, of all of them, probably likes Beyond Thunderdome most because it doesn't feel as like there is just brutal. There's brutal violence in all of them, but it seems to be toned down the most in Thunderdome, and she just doesn't like seeing somebody just get beaten for no reason whatsoever, like the guys do to the little peaceniks with their little refinery in the desert.
And then
Road Warrior.
Second movie, yeah.
That
stuff's rough. That stuff's rough.
It is rough. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Again, everybody's gonna have a different thing. I don't blame her. She's not wrong. Like critically, she's not wrong.
Right. Of course.
These are overly violent visions of the downfall of humanity in a very extreme way, and that can't be for everyone.
No, for sure.
It's definitely for me, though.
Hey, Scott, you know what is for everyone?
What's
At least
that?
for everyone who's a patron. It's getting refined, but you want to put me in full screen there, mister?
You are in full screen.
And let's see. I'm going to put me in full screen so I can make sure I'm holding this up to the camera right. This is the morning stream fridge magnet
Fridge magnet. Look, it's like a
Fridge
little
magnet.
mug. It's got our heads popping out.
Little Scott, little Brian.
Yeah.
Little place to put. Whoop, dropped it, but it's resilient. A little place for me to put some magnets in the back here. I got to figure out. Also, I got to figure out the size. I was thinking when I was making this, it's like, I'd like to make it about playing card size.
Yeah.
I did kind of use that as a reference, and it's close, but like the
handle,
the handle kind of takes it out of that. So I think I might make it a little bit smaller for the shipping version, but I think I might even make it so that it's small enough that there's just two magnet holes in the back. But there you go. There's a little me and a little Scott in the cup.
Pretty great. What do you guys think of that?
That's the one with hair, and
Yeah.
the one with not.
That's right.
Yes, you can buy it, you can paint it, or we're figuring out which level of patron is just going to get it automatically in their little shipment.
Yeah, because we have. Let's see.
What is the level that stuff gets shipped to them, like your art and stuff like that?
I'm checking right now. It looks like. Okay.
Rainbow Bright thought the treats in the cup were cookies. They could be. These could be 2 little Pepperidge Farm cookies in there.
Why not? Yeah. I'm fine with that. I could be a good cookie. All right. So basically, anybody who gets, let's see, where is it? Digital Cookies membership card. Okay. So anybody who is less blue avatar and higher, that's the name of the level. So we have
avatar?
Yeah, we have Deal Me In. Sorry, we have Grade A, Deal Me In, Grade A plus, less blue. I don't remember why we called it less blue avatar.
Less blue avatar. Is it named after somebody named Les, like less blue avatar?
I have no idea why we did that. Anyway, level 4. Sorry, Scott does math is what they wrote. Or what I wrote. Let's see. Printish. Let's see. Everything. Yeah, you know what? Let's say everything above, less blue avatar and above, and you know who you are if you're at that level, will get it. That looks like everyone who gets shipped stuff. So,
Cool.
If you want to get in there, great. And you should, because look how rad that is. That'd be on your fridge.
It's a really, really rad thing.
Yeah.
Super rad thing. And my plan is to do these on the regular, not monthly, but fairly regularly little 3D print designs that we can just put in the mail to you.
Yeah. Awesome deal. I love it. Okay. Let's do some news. I mean, look. Yeah. Everyone's at home going, what's going on in the world? And we're just sitting here not telling them. So now we're going to. Time for today's news, brought to you by
Coverville today. A band that I'm kind of surprised in 1,460 episodes I've never covered. I've never done a true cover story for this band. And one of the lead singers, the co-lead singer, Tommy Roland Shaw, just turned 70 this week, and I'm talking about the band Styx. Yes, Come Sail Away, Lady, Too Much Time on My Hands, Renegade, Blue Collar Man, all those songs that they did. I'm finding out why.
Doing Dr. Roboto or Mr. Roboto?
Mr. Roboto, of course. There's a cover of Mr. Roboto. There may not be one of Lady, because every cover I find of Lady is Lady. Just sounds like that. Covers of and by. Really, it's going to be covers of Styx and covers by Tommy Shaw, because the dude, since leaving Styx, or since the breakup of Styx, has put out some amazing covers, some of which were in collaboration with Jack Blades from Night Ranger. The two of them developed a little a friendship, a little collaboration membership kind of thing. And they've been putting out some great music, including an entire album of covers that are really, really good. So Styx. Oh yeah, Sweet Madam Blue, Lorelei, those are good ones too.
Those are good. Yeah.
Let's say Yacht Rock. Well, Luke Sightwalker, hold on a second. He says too much. I would say that
They
Come
tickle
Sail Away
Yacht Rock.
and Lady are Yacht Rock, but Renegade, totally not Yacht Rock.
Yeah,
That's
there's some crossover.
one of the
there.
greast rock songs of all time is Renegade.
I agree.
Fight Me.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like Barracuda.
Oh, mama, I can hear you calling. You're so scared and all alone. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long. Exactly. So there's that. So anyway, Coverville today, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, twitch.tv/Coverville. And I will be playing some Marvel Snap. I've got a fun little, what am I playing? It's a deck called Surf Punks Must Die, which has Silver Surfer, X-23, and I need to destroy X-23 in order to get my Silver Surfer and Absorbing Man to their full power.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. That's what you must do.
He's not going to absorb by himself and become greater.
That's silly. Absorbing Man absorbing by himself. Crazy.
What's this self-absorption bullshit I'm hearing? All right, well, here's your first story. The Coast Guard, you know them. They keep our coasts guarded.
Yes, I'm familiar. Yeah,
you've heard of their deal. Well, they've arrested a man trying to run a giant hamster wheel across the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hamster wheel. Okay. All right.
I know, it's a weird description.
Why wouldn't you do a hamster ball? Because that seems like it'd be a lot easier.
I would do the ball, personally. Maybe it's easier to steer or put on
maybe.
Straight,
because you could put like little paddly things on the each of the rungs of the hamster wheel.
Yeah, in theory, you got more gusto there, but I don't know if in
this thing's actually pretty cool. Look at that.
Oh, we got a photo. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. That's a bit more. That's almost like that. Who is the character in Twisted Metal? That's just
that's just Axel.
Yeah, Axel's his name. That's it. This is like real life Axel. That thing is that does look pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I would love going because then you're caged in. You don't have to worry about sharks or anything. Look at that thing. It's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, that's pretty rad. It says here, try as he might, his name is Reza Baluchi. Cannot reach his destination without running afoul of the U.S. Coast Guard. The key problem is his vessel, a giant floating hamster wheel made of buoys and wire, self-propelled by Baluchi running inside. Baluchi lives in Florida. After being granted asylum from Iran, was taken to the Coast Guard last week aboard the vessel, or his vessel, following several days of back and forth with the authorities. Let's see. I'm going to skip ahead there. He told officers his destination was London, England, more than 4,000 miles away. He was asked for the vehicle's registration. He said it was registered in Florida, but he couldn't find the registration. I didn't know you could do that, like register a weird boat that isn't a boat.
Can we license and registration, please?
I guess it makes sense. It just seems an odd thing to ask them.
Anyway, that kind of reminds me of something really quick. Yesterday I went to get my nose waxed prior to my trip to Las Vegas. Got to be able to breathe.
Sure.
And while I was waiting, there was a shift change at the wax center, and the woman coming in, the new receptionist coming in, said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late. My boyfriend and I bought a new Tesla, and I'm just trying to figure everything out. I can't understand how this thing works, and everything operates via the screen, but I can't even open the glove department."
Oh no, the glove department.
The glove department.
I love that. That's something Van should say. It's like 4-year-olds. That's what 4-year-olds do.
Glove department. Yeah, exactly.
not full-grown adults. All right, here's a fun story for you.
Yeah.
Unless you're the person who found these.
It's really no fun for anyone, really.
No, I don't think this is all that fun. Family has discovered pennies inside their local McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Ugh.
Yep, bite into a nugget, find a penny. Family game turned scary night when the people there found pennies inside a couple of local McDonald's chicken nuggets. Wintersville police. Let's see, where is this? Trying to find out where Wintersville is. Can't tell. Anyway, we're dispatched to this McDonald's at about 8 p.m. that night and took a statement from a customer about finding change/pennies inside their chicken nugget. They found 3 pennies inside of their food. Management was made aware of it. We've made the case on it. We're continuing to look into it. Management is also looking into it as well, says the Wintersville PD.
Looks like Kentucky, by the way, is where this is.
Okay, Wintersville, Kentucky.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Jefferson County, Ohio. The page came up and promoted Kentucky Board of Tourism, but yeah, this is Jefferson County, Ohio.
Okay, so we're in Ohio now. The lady says when her family found the money, we looked at it and thought it was fine, but then when they broke it open, they could see this brown object inside of it. Looked like a penny. I don't know why this is her voice. That's what I'm doing. She says she returned the meat to McDonald's where management was notified. Quote, "This is no reflection on our local McDonald's. This appears to be manufacturing," she says.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
Why did they break open? There's a little question mark, a little asterisk or something. Why are they breaking open the chicken nuggets before they eat them?
Yeah, because she says when we broke them open as if that's normal procedure. Doesn't she?
Yeah, as opposed to just dipping and biting the damn thing. I
mean,
mean, it's,
if you got...
I'm a little, just because you've heard all these stories about somebody saying, "Oh, I found a mouse in my beer." Yeah, that was Bob and Doug McKenzie. I know, but still,
yeah.
You want, we want to make sure that this is on the up and up. So, I wonder if there's something they could do to test the penny to see if it went through the deep frying process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you got to prove this stuff out before you lay claims like this. And McDonald's will probably demand something like that because you're not going to disrupt all your manufacturing and shipping and suddenly recall everything because one lady made a claim that you can't confirm.
Right.
So you're totally right about that. But I would think if you got the nugget and there were pennies embedded in it, you might have found one of the nuggets with like a ridge showing or something weird like that. And then you maybe break it up. But if she's just straight breaking them up, there's only 2 excuses for breaking up your nuggies. All right. Number one, you got a little kid in the family, little baby kid who you got to like give a little piece to so they don't choke. That's possible.
Yep. Could be the thing.
Could be.
Yep.
Number 2, there is no number 2. You don't break up your nuggets. All right?
Right, exactly. Number 2, end of list.
End of list. End of line. All right? That's how it works. Yeah. Anyway, good luck to them and their nugget coin problem.
Oh my God, Shoujo says there were staples in my rolled tacos. I'm never eating at Roberto's again. Weird thing, I went to Staples and there were tacos in my reams of paper.
Weird.
So I'm never going to Staples again either.
Yeah, nah, I can't be having my I can't have paper with tacos in it. I mean, come on.
That's right, exactly.
Staples though. Let's talk about that for a second. What were they using Staples for that would have somehow migrated to your tacos? That sounds horrible.
It does sound like, that's somebody just bringing in a stapler. And
and as a kid who used to put everything in his mouth, and I was about age 8 or 9, I put a staple in my mouth, and it got lodged into the roof of my mouth.
Oh,
and they had
God.
They had to take me to the hospital to have some doctor yank it out.
Oh,
so
that is
those are dangerous.
So horrendous.
Yeah, so if they're putting those in tacos, I can tell you firsthand those are bad.
Phew.
I may have even gotten like a tetanus shot from it or something. I got some kind of shot.
Probably would have had to. Yeah, that is absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, I think that's the last time I did that because at 7, I choked on babysitter money.
Do they use different kinds of money than other people?
Well, my dad I just remember it was for the babysitter who was watching us. I'm like 7. It's one of my earliest memories. And he puts the money on the counter. Back then, you could pay in quarters.
Yeah, right.
And it was probably $1.50 in quarters. And I went over there and promptly put 2 of those quarters in my mouth and choked so bad.
Oh, jeez.
They almost called 911, had an ambulance come because I wasn't horking the thing up. Finally coughed it up. But I think my final lesson was that staple. I think that's what did it.
Yeah.
I was like,
quit putting stuff in your mouth, Scott.
Yeah, I was weird that way as a kid. I put everything in my mouth.
Jeez.
And my kids were all different. Taylor would eat any kind. If she saw a plant, rubber, real, didn't matter, grab a leaf and start gnawing away on it when she was little. Carter, none of that. Nick, a mix of it. It's like
really? So Nick got some of the Taylor.
A little bit, yeah. But then he got hand, foot, mouth once, or whatever that's called, the infection that like gets all sores in your mouth and all that stuff. Anyway, he got that at about age 4 or 5 or 6 or something, and that was the last. He stopped doing it after that too. So,
jeez,
I don't know. It's life, man. You got to learn. You got to learn the hard way, and then you try to do better next time. That's what I say. Do you see this alien corpse bullcrap in Mexico at all?
No.
Oh, Brian, you've been missing out. So check this out.
Apparently, I've not been watching the right news.
Alien corpses shown to Congress. And this headline is super misleading because it's Mexican Congress. Not that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying they're trying to make it sound like we did it here. We didn't do it here. So thanks, independent.co.uk. Anyway, shown in the Mexican Congress as UFO expert forced to testify under oath. He claims, and if you'll have a peek at them pictures there, Brian, he claims those are aliens. And I know what they are, which is bullshit.
Yes, exactly. I'm looking at them right now.
Look at these stupid things. And there are people that are fully in on this. There are people that are totally buying it. Stupid ad blocker. Hold on.
I know.
Don't show on this page. Okay, that's fine. I don't care.
Oh, this one's horrendous, by the way. The Independent, Co UK. Jeez.
Yeah, it's bad. Okay, there's a shot of it laying there. Somebody made really bad clay. They claim they're 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
They claim they have X-ray evidence of the internals.
They're like little, like you could just about see the little finger, the fingers that they use to shape the clay. Almost see the little fingerprints in the clay.
Yeah, this is like 6th grade bullshit, for real.
Yeah.
These X-rays they showed metal objects and eggs inside these things. It's all bullcrap. The whole thing, complete garbage.
Did you find any pennies inside? Was there
no pennies that I know of.
Clay ET? Yeah.
No, but there is some metal objects, so you're not far from that.
Yeah. Okay.
The amount or the number of people I've seen on YouTube, TikTok, and a couple other places who seem to genuinely believe this is legit is staggering to me. Now, once again, I think those weirdos always existed, but now they have platforms.
No, exactly. I like that they have a humidity monitor, a little humidity sensor in the giant wooden bassinet they've created for this.
Yep. And these things are like what, 12-inch action figures basically? They're small.
Yeah.
Give me a break. These are not.
I like it's got like this long head, and little tiny face at the end. Oh my gosh.
It's just as soon as I saw it I went, "Really?" And then I heard it was like under oath in another country's, highest levels of whatever, and I'm like, "What are we doing?" Who over there went, "Oh, get him in here. We got to see. We got to do this." Gosh, dang it, man! I could have made the hair. I got some plasticine right over here. You know what's a better model? This 2-man guy. This what's his name?
Spray that with a little brown and put it in a little hand carved wood whisper bassinet, and you're all set.
Such horseshit. I don't know who actually benefits from this though. If it's just a big long con troll move, or is there money on the line? Is it just to rile people up? I don't know why you would do it and be so fake.
Yeah,
but whatever. Brian, you're still going to Vegas, but despite all of the efforts MGM's trying to make, I'm really glad you're not at one of their properties.
I am so glad we're not staying at MGM. Yeah, no kidding.
They're still down, although this morning there may be
I hear 3/5 of the fake Spice Girls we're going to see are non-operational, so it's just going to be the fake baby and the fake sporty.
Oh, good. Thank goodness, because that really gives me relief. I'm going to see if it's changed. I don't think there's been an update this morning. Yeah, they're still down.
That's tough. Like once they've got a little tunnel into your firewall, it's hard to get rid of it without just doing a complete wipe and reinstall kind of thing. I mean, I know it's a lot more complicated than I'm just gonna erase my hard drive and reinstall Windows kind of thing. But
especially when you got
something.
And you got Vegas. You own half or more of the strip on Vegas, pretty much. You own stuff on the Atlantic City side of things. You own stuff down in Biloxi. Like MGM resorts are all over the effing place, and they're all tied into the same system. And here's the worst part, Brian. This wasn't some genius programming hack. This was somebody who got on LinkedIn, found someone who worked at MGM Resorts in some position of relative note, not high management, but somebody in there. Then they call one of the MGM places and say they can't find their access to anything. Can I please get that? And the lady on the phone there had access to whatever that was. That's how they got it. It's pure manipulation of dumb people. That's it.
It's so, boy, heists in movies are so, like, they really lead you to believe that things are way more secure than they really are. It's like, hi, could you turn off the security system for a little bit so I can get in and retrieve my password for my Players Club reward? Oh, sure, no problem. Let me know. All right, I've got our security system shut down. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's just insane to me how the photos. Like I saw an aerial photo, because in the Luxor you can go way up toward the tip in one of your rooms up high, and you can kind of lean down and see the entire base of that thing. And there was 1,000 people in a line and turnstiles just wrapped around the casino inside and outside, just getting people checked in, checked out.
Oh my God!
They had to manually do it. They have to manually do everything. So the fact that you're going to the plaza is like a godsend, dude.
Exactly. Nobody, like, they're a one and done. Like they are a one horse company. You can't get into the plaza and then get access to 18 other resorts. So I don't think anyone's going to touch it.
Yeah, exactly. Why would you? Oh, this is. I mean, and there's no way. Even if it's like suddenly this morning they go, we've solved it. Everything's back to normal. It won't be for a while. It's going to take a while.
It. Yeah,
because you're going to have to. It's just nothing that's at that scale is that easy.
Yeah.
But these guys are already in trouble because of those 10 million, whatever it was, patron info that was leaked in 2020. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know if you're a part of that.
Right. Yeah, I probably was. But again, the worst thing they could do is probably add to my Players Club account because there's so little in there that they're not going to be able to get much out of it.
Did they not have? I wonder if they had credit cards and all that crap. I don't know if any of that was involved or not. But.
None of that's stored. I don't store that stuff in those accounts. There's a couple places online where save my credit card for future purchase. I mean, I guess just using a credit card with MLife
would do it.
Even if you don't store it in there, they probably have record of it. But
yeah, because they have transactional records. I don't know if that keeps
true. Yeah, certainly
all that stuff.
Certainly could.
But you would have been if you were a part of an.
Yeah,
you would have heard
by now,
right?
For sure.
Because it's been. I mean, that's 3 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We got this one here. Oh no, that was our last story.
That was our last
one.
story.
I thought I had another story. Why did I think I had another story?
So here's where I guess we'll find out if things are working because like I said, we do have the tickets to the Spice Girls tribute concert, and that is at the Luxor. I got to double check that, or maybe it might be at Excalibur.
Oh, but, the lines there look bad too. They had lines all through.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, it's going to be bad because it's all MGM.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, we'll need to go there to do our ticket, get through the ticketing thing. And if that's not automated and working, then, yeah, I guess I print out. I think that's a smart thing. Instead of using digital where they have to scan it, I think I'll print tickets, although they still have to scan it. It's still a QR code on their side.
Yeah, they still have to manually feed you through to the venue, but maybe they'll have that. I mean, we're talking how many days they got? They have a few days to get this fixed.
4 days, 5 days.
Yeah, and they've already been at it for 3. So, if I had to guess, some solution is in place by Monday, Tuesday. I would hope so. And for some, there's something going on with the big dome thing, the big projection dome with Darren Aronofsky. I guess he's showing, because I didn't know this, but inside of that ball, that new big ball,
the MSG Sphere,
is the world's largest projectable film screen.
Oh, really? So they, in addition to like the monitors, like the LC or LED or whatever they are, screens inside, they actually can do projection as well
on the inside. So like you could have films there or big events or whatever. Aronofsky is doing some demo there to show that off, and it's also the first time anyone's been inside or seen the inside, so it's like some big deal. I don't know if you're even going to get to go near that, but that would be the coolest thing to see.
Oh yeah, no, I don't see. We're gonna go and watch it for a while. We're figured out like where we're gonna be able to watch it, but we're not going to. There's no way to get in there yet because it's still under construction as far as I know.
Sure. It says here, so here's the official info. Director Darren Aronofsky teases MSG Sphere's first immersive experience with an exclusive inside look. Let's see. The expanded attention as a club. Oscar-nominated director Aronofsky posted the exclusive first look of a video made inside the sphere on his Instagram. Let's see. Tuesday's video shows the breathtaking view of the 160,000 square foot display pane that will be used for immersive experiences. So this is an indoor part of it. So you think that outdoor screen's cool?
Yeah.
Wait till you get in there and look at the inside bullshit.
Oh yeah, no.
On.
If you haven't seen it yet, there's somebody did a video walkthrough with Bono and the Edge, and showed the inside and talked about like they did renderings of what things are going to look like. So now you can actually see apparently this Aronofsky thing, see it in actual.
Oh my gosh! Look at that thing. Is that real? Okay, there's video.
Give me a link. Give me a link.
Giving you a link. Hold on here.
Linky.
Oh, it's just on. It's in the news story link. I'll give it to you anyway.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize it till just now.
It's in the MSN. Oh
yeah, that MSN link.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, scroll down a bit and you'll see Aronofsky's video. But This is hard to see. It's a vertical video, so it's a little hard to get a wide shot on this. But
okay. There it is.
that screen goes from the edges of the. It's edge to edge.
Wow.
That's just crazy.
That is crazy. Like it's almost 360 degrees, and oh my God, look at that thing.
We gotta go into that, dude.
Yeah, that's where TMS Vegas. That's where we'll do our live show.
Do a Mario Kart tournament on that screen. Oh my Lord.
Exactly. Yeah. Done.
That's really cool. And very expensive. Anyway, hopefully they make their money back. We're going to take a break. When we come back, my sister Wendy will be here. We got a little bit of a follow-up from a recent experience, that we did here on the show. So we're going to address that all after this song. What do you got?
It's not very often that I do songs with lyrics in a foreign language for our Indie in the Middle, but dang it, this thing is so cool. I had to. It's got such a cool, like, new wave vibe to it. And it's a band called Bratty, Bratty. The new wave leaning pop track is the latest single from their Trace, TR3S, which comes out November 3rd, November Trace, via Universal Music Mexico. This is the brand new single of it. It's being described as bedroom pop, and it's really, really good. Here's Bratty and Ya No Es Lo Mismo.
To make exciting desserts on a budget, start with Jell-O brand gelatin, like Jam DeWitt of Albuquerque.
Oh, finally. Starting to grow mushrooms out my ass.
There's an image.
And we've returned.
Sure.
I need backup info on
I'll
that
tell
song.
you again just to make sure it comes through clearly.
Okay.
That is the band Bratty from their upcoming album Tres, with the song Ya No Es Lo Mismo.
And what language is that again?
I don't know what she's saying. Spanish. I don't know what she's saying, but boy, is it cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. What do I know about these things?
What do you know?
I don't know nothing. I know Wendy's coming in, though, so let's get her in and get that going. It's been a week, so let's talk to her again.
Boy, has it. Boy, has it been a week.
Boy, has it been one of those weeks. All right, here we go. Where's her thing?
I'll explain the situation to Wendy. Don't worry.
Oh, look who it is. It's Wendy Dunford, my sister, who lives in Minnesota now, but boy, you can just feel her everywhere, just her influence far and wide, your influence.
You totally can.
Yes. Well, people, we get emails all the time. Wendy changed my life. Wendy did this. Wendy did that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I got one yesterday.
Yeah.
It says, listen to what she says, and how could you ever chase her with a hot soldering iron? I actually got an email about that.
It's hard to believe.
It's a
Protect
shock.
me at all costs, people.
Yeah, save the Wendy, save the world.
Save Wendy from her brother.
That's right.
I should say, though, I appreciate now the level of, like, the good-natured level of torture you put me through.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get my goat. I don't have a goat.
Yeah. Your goat is sufficiently, your goat is freaked out. Your goat does not want anything else.
In fact, I have noticed something. When people are teasy with me, I like them more. I think they like me more. It's it's kind of a problem. Like, no, you really hate me? Oh, shoot, I thought we were friends because you were teasing me.
Yeah. A good tease can go either way, right? Sometimes
either direction, and you wonder why it's happening. But I'm like, that's the love language in my house growing up.
Yeah, that's how it worked. Everyone liked everybody growing up, but we sure teased each other a lot. Anyway, well, it's good to have you here. So today's a little different. And, for those new to this segment, Wendy's an actual therapist, and we did a run of, I don't know what it was, 3 or 4 episodes.
3-episode story arc.
That's right. Yeah. And it was all about roommate in your head and all this stuff. And we got kind of a follow-up on that, but it also, I think, put into perspective what I think some people going through that process may have felt at the end of it, like it just didn't go far enough for them. Anyway, I'll read it and it'll make sense, and we can try to parse this out. So we got one from someone we'll call B. And B says, I've never had a support system of my friends or family. As I grow older, I wish I did more and more. Every interaction with someone in my peer group is lousy, with an inner voice warning me that everything I have ever done to connect with someone has failed because I'm flawed, broken, and unlikable. I've been engaging with the voice I've been engaging with that voice for more than a decade. I talk to it and try to manage it, speaking of his internal roommate. in the same way Wendy describes, and that helps, but the situation doesn't change. So it's a cycle of maintenance, reassuring the voice that even if I'm fairly unlikable, other people are too, and I should just be myself and keep trying. Thanks for the show, B. Yeah, I wondered about this. It's like anything, really. If you say to somebody, "Oh, my bursitis went away when I walked upstairs twice a day," and you go, and then you go try it, and your bursitis goes nowhere, or it worked for a second, but it wasn't enough. Because, like you've always said on here, at least I think I'm paraphrasing, but everybody's different. There is no standard single Band-Aid for any of this, any more than there's a single Band-Aid for cuts and bruises, right? Like variety, and you need more help, and they need less help, and we're catering the need that you have. We have to cater our care for you and that sort of thing. So it seems like it'd be an interesting thing to visit and just maybe go further on how people like B can more better internalize this stuff. More better. See what I did?
I did see what you did there.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Called Mo Better.
Yeah, Mo Better. Sorry.
Mo Better.
I really appreciate them writing in. It's a really helpful perspective, because I think, especially when something seems to go easily for someone else, or maybe feels like everyone else knows how to do this. I feel that way sometimes about dressing myself. Like, who took a class and knows how to do this at every stage of life through decades of changing fashion? Like, I don't like it, and I'm not good at it. And when I look around and see people good at it, I'm like, what? How'd you do that? It just feels like it's a skill, it's an ability someone else has, and then maybe everyone has it. And then, you go to a certain place and you're like, nah, nobody knows how to dress. So that helps. But that's like a really common feeling of that people can have when they maybe feel lonely. Now, I'm telling you right now, this is so ubiquitous. I will talk to people who you would assume had a million friends and connections and surrounded by family and loved ones, and you're like, oh yeah, and they feel totally lonely or feel disconnected or feel something, right? So again, we don't know the real story behind anybody, which is why we really should choose niceness every time, because we don't know. But what this person's describing is that sort of, I have this experience as I try to connect. I know I want to connect. I have interest in being closer to other people than I currently am. And when I do it, there's a particular thing that happens. And that is what makes us all very much the same, is that for someone who connects easily with others, and just, this is not the thorn in their side, right? We talked about thorns in the last couple episodes ago. That's not their thorn. Then you might be watching them and just like, can't hardly believe it. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, they don't have a voice in their head telling them they're going to screw this up. But they have a voice in their head telling them they're going to do something else some other place. It's going to be somewhere different, right? But I think that as humans, we look at each other as models and guides for like how things operate. And so when you're watching it happen easily for someone else, there is a fundamental difference maybe that's happening. It also could be that they're faking it, or they do have that voice and they're overriding that voice. Like, we don't know, right? Unless we really stop and check with everyone what's going on. So for example, Brian, tell me, I'm going to ask you to help illustrate this for a minute.
Sure.
Okay. You're a very nice, friendly, social guy. You go talk to bartenders randomly. We know this about you.
I do. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any sort of inner roommate or inner voice sort of telling you to hedge your bets when you're interacting with people? Like, is there any noise going on in there when you're socializing?
Hedge my bets how? Like, to protect myself basically from getting hurt kind of thing? Yeah. Not really. I feel like I probably run that risk without any sort of safety net, just putting myself out there. I mean, I don't think I share anything that could come back as something that they could use to hurt me. Like, oh, you really like the Spice Girls? God, what a whack job you are.
You're not super vulnerable in these moments.
I don't make myself super vulnerable, but I feel like I do share enough stuff that it's like I go right up to that that fence or that wall or something that still gives a lot of myself to the other person, but doesn't give them enough to where they can bend it and point it back against me, kind of thing.
Got it. And there's no soundtrack in there.
No roommate in my head that's saying, "Oh, don't tell them about that, Brian. Don't mention that. Oh, it's going to be trouble," kind of thing.
Or they're not going to like you if you just strike up a conversation with them, or nothing like that. You don't have any of that going on. Okay, so I want the emailer to hear that. Right here is Brian, as we all know. We all want Brian's inner world, right?
It is like it's got the Smurfs running around singing 24 hours a day.
You're Emmett on the Lego movie. There's just nothing happening in there. Yeah, no,
I know about that.
No, but in this context, like it's very peaceful in Brian's inner world.
Yes, exactly.
And this emailer does not have that experience. There's literally a voice. Now imagine, Brian, if I was behind you, or you had, I know you had like a thing in your ear, and I was in another room with a microphone.
Okay, right.
And I was like, okay, Brian, you got to really think hard about what you're about to say, because this could go really badly, and then people won't love you, right? Or you might get rejected so hard right now. Like imagine how that would mess your mojo, right? How difficult
the fear really
that would be.
is not. It's less. It's more about less about somebody being mad at me and me ruining somebody's day, saying something that they take with them past our interaction. And
okay,
like I was thinking about this today, is that I, through this show and through whatever I do, I try to radiate positivity, and it's my own way of saying, wow, the world sucks, and no one's ever going to have the authority to say, all right, everybody, stop sucking. You just have to kind of like stop sucking yourself. Let me rephrase that. You just have to start being a positive influence yourself and hope that it rubs off on other people. Maybe not the right way either, but
it's going great.
But you're doing fine, Brian. No one's thinking these things. I know.
Well, not until I draw attention to them. But like if I get somebody in my lift in my car as I'm ride sharing, and just saying, hey, how you doing today? And they're like, okay. I'm like, oh, well, that wasn't very believable. We have 8 minutes till I get you to the coffee bean and tea leaf emporium. Tell me what's going on. And like it's me joking around with them and trying to just brighten their days so that they go off and maybe radiate a little bit of that themselves. Because I feel like just like any radiation, the more you transfer it to anybody, the more it dissipates over time. So you have to make people create their own radiation. So I'm radiating that to somebody else and hoping to create their own little chemical reaction for themselves so that they can kind of radiate it out to other people and hopefully, make a little small community a better place.
I also want the emailer to hear that Brian gives himself a job every time he interacts with people.
And I don't even think that I'm doing it. Like it didn't dawn on me that I was doing it until today. And like I was thinking to myself, what if I just, instead of lifting, started doing the streaming thing more, and doing that daily at the times that I would normally be lifting. And it's like, no, I kind of like this, seeing if I can brighten a stranger's day kind of thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
All right.
So
I'm not really the nice guy that I make myself sound.
You are an emotional vampire. We got it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So this person is like having really opposite thoughts right. And so you can imagine if you had the thoughts that Brian has about people, that, you have a purpose with people. You have like, there's a connection you're making. You probably get energy from that. There's lots of good things happening there. So it's just easy to be your friend. It's easy to connect with you because you're doing a lot of the heavy lifting of a social interaction, and it's not heavy lifting for you. It's just connection, right? Which is great. Yeah. And for other people might be looking around going, oh man, everyone's got this ability. And really it might just be Brian, but there's a few people out there, right? But most people find small talk hard. Most people have, a varying degree of their interest in other people or not, right? Like everyone's on different spectrums here, but I hear this and I hear that something happened to you, something maybe, underneath happened for a long time. It could be a one-time thing. I don't know, but something happened to this emailer that there's that voice protecting them from getting too close to anyone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it may be the most obvious thing is usually not the main thing. Sometimes it is. And this is my experience when I work with somebody is I'll ask those questions like, okay, so, does this relate to anything you've been through before? And they'll have like the story. They'll either say like, no, not really. Or they'll say, oh, well, one time and it kind of hits. And then I can keep directing them a little. And eventually we find a story that they haven't thought about in years that, I mean, it's so on the nose. You're like, oh, you never thought of that. And it's because that's not how our brains work. They don't hold up here's the really obvious reason I have this trauma. Sometimes they will be.
Ignore it or whatever.
Yeah. But especially these social ones. These social ones tend to be cumulative over a lifespan. You have people react to you a certain way. That feedback loop starts to build the story inside of you of how the world thinks of you or treats you. And so that whole dynamic, this is why, bullying or, treating anyone as an other is so painful and difficult, because they start to build a script and that roommate gets going about who I am and who wants to be with me and who wants to talk to me or not. And then we start sort of acting in ways that unfortunately fulfill that same prophecy. So if we all take the microphone in our ear situation, we walk into a social situation, and what were the words exactly?
Oh,
I'm going to ruin this.
Says, try it. Here we go. Situation doesn't change. Reassuring voice. That even if I'm fairly unlikable, other people are too. I know it says
that's when he's trying to.
That's when he's trying to. So where's the part at the beginning? I guess every interaction I have with somebody is lousy. Oh, here he goes. With an inner voice warning me that everything I have ever done to connect with someone has failed because I'm flawed, broken, and unlikable. Yeah.
Yes, there we go. Flawed, broken, and unlikable. You don't just feel that way or have a roommate
just
say
spontaneously generate.
No.
Is it? It seems like this sort of thing is normal for one-on-ones that you've had and now you've got a record of. Like, for example, when I go, I'll just use an example for my family. We have an extended family issue, let's call it that way, on Kim's side of the family, where anytime, and this isn't just me, anybody in the family, when they need to visit Kim's mom, they all go in going, oh, she's going to lecture me today. Oh, she's going to judge this. Oh, she's going to, but we all have that. Every one of us is sure how this interaction is going to go, and it's going to be judgmental and annoying, and it's going to suck. But we don't immediately go, all right, now that's over with. I'm now going down the street to talk to the guy who's fixing my car. I expect him to be judgmental and condescending. Like, we don't carry it on to other people, especially strangers. We just have these specific things. Like I know when I'm going to go see John that we're all bracing for a Johnism to happen. Whatever it may be, we just know it's probably going to happen. We don't know when, but it will. And everyone's got these dynamics with specific people. It seems like the problem is when you do it long enough or around it long enough that the script is it's everyone, not just that person that you get all in bundles about. It's anyone else you may have a perfectly pleasant time with, but you can't get over the template. You've applied it to everybody you're going to meet. I mean, that's the difference, right?
And I'm making a big leap here because I don't know the story, but that sounds like a very fundamental, maybe parent wound, right? Yeah. That your interactions with your initial caregivers can have an impact of feeling broken, unwanted, unlovable.
Yeah.
And if it's everyone around you, right? Like when it's one person and it's a one-off, that's usually just because it's a personality conflict, right?
Right.
But if everyone you believe thinks you're broken, that's probably started pretty young. And that usually means, some kind of peer traumatic thing at a younger age or a fundamental family sort of response to someone. Because again, I mean, we talked about this, maybe on and off for the last 12 years, but the mirror that is held up to a child is the face of a parent, the face of caregivers, the face of teachers, the face of other students in school or whatever. And that reflects back to you how you are, even though that person has their own issue, that person has their own agenda, that person has their own problems, and that their inability to sort of show love or connection isn't all just a one-way street, but it can really feel like you're broken because why are they treating me this way? So I hear all of this, and I mean, number one, I have a really, pithy answer.
I'm going to start calling you Aunt Piffy.
Aunt Piffy.
Yeah. Just for fun.
So weird. Anyway, answer to what to do next. But I think I would say at its core sort of figuring out how to, and this is why therapy, and again, I'm, telling everyone go to therapy, is that you're practicing a relationship with a person, right? Like I have a relationship with every one of my clients. I have particular roles, there's boundaries. It's 1 hour a week. It's nothing more than that, but it is specific. In that specific microcosm, we practice relationship, right?
Yeah.
We practice me being safe, them being more vulnerable. It's the one time it doesn't go both ways though. And that's where it's really powerful. Because if it has to go both ways, you people are going to have to listen to what's going on in my life, and it's boring, or it's then you're like, I don't know if I trust her after hearing that, like it complicates things. And that's all human relationships are: two people not being therapists with each other. And that balance that you would normally require in real life, you get to practice in an imbalanced situation, which allows people to heal from some of this stuff that has occurred, right? They don't need to worry about the therapist's feelings. And yet people still do. And sometimes therapists are stupid. I get it. But like, there's also just this amazing little practice that can happen there. So I would really highly recommend that, and highly recommend getting some practice with a person to work on these deep-seated feelings of brokenness or unlikability, because you weren't born like that. That's not you. You are not broken.
Sure.
But something has happened, and some messages have gotten through that are not okay and not true. But man, your system has built a bunch of walls around that. And the hard thing, and this is where loneliness really kicks in for people, is that what you think between your two ears on your own can get real toxic real fast, and it needs to be processed. Right. So what is the difference between, okay, here's me this morning. I'm walking my dog. My one kid is playing football.
Yep.
And there's another kid in the neighborhood who plays football, and the mom is outside. And this is so classic me. You guys, honestly, sometimes I think I need to get checked. Anyway, we're chatting for just a second, and it turns out like Elliot's position, he was tight end. He was doing really well. And all of a sudden the coach's kid his ankle is healed and he's back to playing, and now he's tight end.
One of those deals,
so, Yeah. 100, one of those deals. And Elliot comes home from school and tells us, he goes, oh, there's some news. He goes, some kids are thinking like it's nepotism and just like that. And he's like, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it just feels great to still be a starter. So now I'm a right guard, and I was like, are you? Is this real or fake?
Elliot, he is such a what an old soul in that.
He is like, I want to play football, but he's not competitive, which I don't understand why those two things are happening.
Right.
But anyway.
Right.
It's a little weird.
So I'm
he
surprised.
Likes to hit things.
Yeah, honestly, it's the kind of kid, I can tell people this without any hesitation. He's the kind of kid that if he sees you get hurt or you are in need, he'll be the first one to rush over and do it. So I will not be surprised that during a regular season game this year, if somebody on the other team doesn't get helped by your kid and maybe even loses the game as a result, because that's the kind of kid he is. I don't know why he's playing football. He's got no blood.
I'm telling you right now, he doesn't even like any of the other players. He's like, they're just not good people, Mom. And I'm like, okay.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's a few that are nice.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This already happened, but they didn't lose the game. This already happened. The football gets like thrown way out of bounds. Elliot runs and gets it and gives it to the ref. And the ref goes,
instead of like a ball player or something like that, he's like, let me get that for you.
It's like halfway across the track. It's not close. And he runs and gets it. And the ref is like, what are you doing? And he goes, I was just helping. And the guy's like, please don't do that again. And he's like, okay.
Wow.
It's really funny. Anyway, he's adorable. We all love him. He's great. Whatever. I want him to be president. That's what I want. There's no one more honest, which means he'll never be president.
Nobody like that ever becomes president.
No one honest has a shot, and he would never make it. But anyway, so I'm talking to this mom, and you can see her kid hardly plays, and you can see her so angry about this development.
Yeah.
And she's just got the like Minnesota mom, like sound. And here's me. I am smiling. I'm doing the nice happy thing, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Like, okay, I'm trying to like walk away. And this is why I think I need to be checked. But here's where I'm no different. Everyone does something similar, right? we either have an internalizing of it or an externalizing. And I'm just giving you the example of how I externalize, and it's really helpful. And that is, she leaves all like, and I immediately pretend I'm talking to my dog, but I immediately say things out loud. So I say, wow, I am not like her. She's not like me. Or that is the weirdest lady. Or I'll say like, and it can be me doing something really embarrassing or whatever. I will like, it's like I'm talking to someone next to me going like, oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. Did you see that? You know, but I'm talking to myself, everyone. I am going to be a crazy lady in a store. It's the plan. But here's why. And maybe I'm just trying to make myself feel better here, but here is what I think I'm doing. And what I think often is happening just inside someone's head is they are seeing their oddness. I'm odd in that interaction. I am not a football mom lady. I'm not doing it right. Like I should be mad at that coach and I don't care, you know, but like I can tell I'm weird. I'm the weird one in this interaction. But of course I think she's actually weird, but I'm the weird one. And what do? Do I think of that as a bad thing or a negative thing? Right? I think of it as a funny thing. And one of the ways I do that is I talk out loud. It's like calling a buddy to say, can you believe this thing just happened? Right. I'm just doing it by myself.
I do that sometimes. I thought that was a really weird thing I would never admit, but now I feel better because you're saying you do it. I do this all the 100%. Time.
I think it's healthy, except for when you get caught in a public place doing it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like a pressure release valve.
Really. It is. It's like, and that same impulse we have with other people, right? But here's what happens when you don't let that out. Where does it go?
Stays in.
I'm such an idiot. It's the same words. I'm like, oh my gosh, can you believe I just did that? That's hilarious.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, because you're not saying it out loud, it probably takes on more, like you start to believe it, even though out loud you'd probably say it jokingly.
I had this almost Tourette's-like thing where when I was playing basketball, just pick up ball with people back in my 20s and 30s, I had this thing where I couldn't control it, honestly. If I screwed up, if I took a 3-point shot or a faraway shot and it missed, banged out of the rim, I would go, Scott! Like that. And I do it now. I do it now with like certain video games or but it was back when there's any kind of sports at all, I would yell my name when I would screw something up. And it wasn't to anyone else, to any of the other players. It was all in my own head to yell my own name. And I did it anyway. And it felt not Tourette'sy, but kind of uncontrollable. It felt uncontrollable.
Yeah.
To the point that it just became what I did. And to this day, I don't think I have the wherewithal to hold that in. If I was doing any kind of competitive anything, like, playing cornhole or something, throwing a bag toward the thing. If I miss, by barely missing it, I'll go, Scott! Like that.
Okay. This is genetic. I was thinking I was just kind of weird, but I am remembering now your whole life doing that.
Yeah,
I know you yelled your own name.
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, but here's the point of it, guys. It's not just that we want to brag about how we embarrass ourselves in public.
Yeah.
Is that there is an externalization that can be really helpful, right? That, like, okay, instead of internally screaming, Scott, you're a moron, instead you yell Scott out loud. Yeah. And then no one else actually yells at you because you've already done it, right? Like you've protected yourself.
It is kind of, it is like a hardcore form of self-effacing, right? It's
like real loud, real quick. And no one's going to go, Scott, you idiot, you missed that shot because you already just yelled at Scott.
Yeah.
Versus that quiet, internalized version where you just let it rattle around in your head. Now, this is what I want everyone to do is go start talking to yourself in public. Like, this is the answer to mental health. No, it's that ask yourself this question. How often are your mistakes, because that's really what we're talking about.
Yeah.
How often are your mistakes or your social faux pas or whatever dumb thing you've done internalized as I'm a bad person versus externalized, right? Like one of my favorite things to do is call a friend and say, I did this terrible thing. And then they have a story that's even better about how more terrible they are. It's the best feeling in the world.
Like trying to out-terrible each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm a bad mom. Oh, you're a bad mom. Let me show you.
Oh, you got nothing on me.
Woo, it's so helpful because not only is it externalized and it can be validated, right? And so I'm talking, we're talking to someone who maybe doesn't have that resource. They don't have someone they run to and call and say, look at the silly thing I did, because at some stage in your life, shame was so thick around making a mistake that your system just internalized all of that and carries it around with everything you do. And then what happens in order to protect you, these parts of you that need to warn you you're going to do something stupid, they preempt any good socializing. They preempt any good connection, right? So I can't walk up to the bartender and just be like, what's up? Because I have 40 minutes of self-berating kinds of conversations already in my head.
Bartender's going to hate you. They talk to people like this all day. They hate when somebody just walks up and does this. They're going to like spit in your drink because they hate you doing the chit chat with them so much.
You can fester.
Right. Right. And so that is your like operating system. And the feeling is always like, why can't I connect with anyone? Well, no one could connect with anyone if the whole time in their head, a voice is screaming, you're broken.
Right.
No one can. So that's why you need someone to help you with that. And they didn't indicate if they've ever gotten that kind of help. I really hope they do, because there's some things from your past that probably are connected to this that can need some attention and some healing, so that you can have different kinds of experiences when talking to people. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy initially, right? You're going to have to practice. I'm sure, Brian, if we really comb through your history of communication with strangers, there's a few bad ones, right?
Nope.
Nope,
okay,
right?
yes, probably, yes. All right, yeah, there have been.
Right, right. And so you have that dynamic is true for all of us in just lots of different places. That's why I think we love when like someone famous or, social media wise that sort of portray a perfect life, or like, but look at what mistake I make, because we don't get access to that, as we don't see through any of that, especially when it's, all curated or something. Right. And so when you do see it, it's like, oh, it's normal. And I'm telling you, this idea that you are having these voices in your head about a social situation is incredibly common. And where it's most common, I think it feels like folks who just don't have a lot of exposure to have it break down too. So for example, talk to a Gen Zer about their phone call feelings. Like, how do they feel about making a phone call?
Yeah, it's weird.
They just have no practice. And so to rip on them or just be like, these kids. Well, when did they answer a home phone? They have never answered a home phone.
Yeah, they don't have that connection. In fact, if anything, I'm seeing it start to go back that way, because they're discovering, like,
That's what we were saying yesterday.
Yeah,
like,
my kids' age, Tristan's age, I think these kids are like, well, hold on. Why am I sending you a 4-paragraph thing when I could just call you and
it'll take 2 minutes, or take a minute just for me to get the answer.
It's almost like they reversed the saying from this meeting could be a text to this text could have been a meeting.
Could be a meeting.
Yeah.
Because some of that is that craving of social connection. I think we're seeing a pendulum hopefully swinging back a little, because we got real isolated as a species.
A little bit of a correction, maybe, right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. And then here's the other thing. Like finding some confidence in who you are, right? Like your nerdiness, your weirdness, your like there can be a move towards pride in that. But part of that is learning to like yourself. If someone told you weren't likable, you got to figure out why you like yourself, because everyone's likable to some extent, right? There's something we like about ourselves. And a lot of people will just, to protect themselves from ever feeling rejection or shame or some of these really hard emotions, they won't actually take any risks that it takes to get to know yourself or to like yourself. Right. Or another voice pops in and is like, oh, you're just a copycat, or, whatever, all that going on in there. You have too many roommates is what I'm getting at. And so having someone help you sort through that is helpful.
Yeah.
So here's where my pithy.
Yeah, pithy.
Here's my pithy answer.
Pithy.
My pithy answers are read a book, and here are 2 books that I would recommend.
Oh, homework. Okay. All right, give it to us.
Yeah. So one is called Belonging, and it's the science of creating connection and bridging divides by Jeffrey Cohen. This is a more scientific kind of dive in to what connection is and how to, literally do some of the actionable things of connecting.
Okay.
So that's maybe a little more that academic a little bit. And then the other one is You Will Find Your People by Lane Moore. And this is the How to Make Meaningful Friendships as Adults.
So we've got Belonging by Jeffrey Cohen. You Will Find Your People by Lane Moore. Just show people.
Lane Moore.
Got it. Yeah. All right.
And
awesome.
The Lane Moore one is a little more like for everybody. And she's a comedian and a writer and a musician and, basically writing about like how difficult some things are to do when you're a grown up and finding your people and making meaningful.
I know who this is. This is we've seen her in things. She's like
really?
I can't remember what though.
She's written for The Onion, The New Yorker.
Yeah, and
she's
been
funny.
In some TV stuff. Or maybe I follow her on Twitter. Or no, Instagram or something. I don't know. I've seen this person. I know this person.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So that's more of a fun book version of this thing. And this is maybe for people generally. As you get older, you start to find things funny that you wouldn't find funny, or you start to relate to old people in new ways. Like, oh no, I understand that now. And you just didn't. I hate to admit that that's happening. But my favorite joke, here's the joke that I just think is so stupid and funny.
Okay.
And that is, it's like a meme, right? You got a picture of Jesus. Maybe I've told it on this story or on the show before about picture of Jesus with his disciples. And it says, no one's talking about the real miracle of a man in his 30s having 12 friends.
No, I don't think you've told that one on the show before. That's
right. That's good.
It's so funny because it's super true. Like that, there's the real miracle. And also like, how'd you do it? Well, it got a little violent there, but you like how to make friends as a kid is really a different ball game.
Totally.
One last quick one of my kids' stories. Seriously, it's new school year. Lots of weird things are happening. Also, we all know I'm raising Scott. In my youngest child, and it is not going great.
You're raising about 4 versions of me in different children, but he is the most prominently like my youthful 11-year-old idiot weird self. Not an idiot in a bad way.
He really is. Idiot is not a far cry. But anyway, he decides the first day of school, middle school, right? Where you get beat up. He's like, I know what I want to wear. I don't know where he got a fedora, but he found one.
Sweet. Brian, you'll like this then. Brian loves a good fedora.
Fluorescent green shorts and a maroon shirt that has a pizza pie melting in the shape of pie, like a nerd pie.
Like a nerd number pie.
Yeah, so it's a pizza pie, get it. And then a red, nothing matches, can I be clear? A red Oxford unbuttoned, and he is so proud. He is like,
I dressed myself.
Yeah. And I said, how about the second day? What, maybe like a weekend.
Save a little bit for day 2.
And he's like, absolutely not. It has to be the first day. I'm like, okay. And then he goes to school. I'm like, how was it? He's fine. And I'm like, what? Anyway, he's just, I don't know. He's a mystery. And then I asked him yesterday, I say, hey, so are you making any new friends? There's like a ton of new kids, like making any friends? And he goes, yeah. And then he goes, yeah, just kidding. I'm not. Middle school boys are the weirdest.
Wow.
I was like, said the kid who wore a fedora on day 1.
Right. Wow.
I remember even feeling that way. He is really me, that kid.
I know. Except he's good at math. That's the only difference.
Yeah,
and
he loves math. I don't know why that part got lost on me, but
I'm telling you, this is the moment where friendship making starts to be hard, right? Like awkward, self-awareness, like stinkiness, all the things start showing up, and it just gets harder. Then you get to be, college is probably the best time because everyone has time to hang out.
Right.
And then after that, you better have some nice coworkers because it's Susan and you, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the person that is email does not have coworkers and maybe works from home, that's like a really common thing, right? It's really tricky. And so read some of these books, get some ideas, find a therapist, find someone who can help you with some of those internal things, because man, those are hard to kick. And it sounds like some good ideas already of like trying to soothe that voice and work with it. If maybe a little extra help will go a long way.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I want to hear back from B as well. Did any of this help you, B? Please. Did you read these books? Did you do your homework? Let us know, though. We would love to hear back from you and hope things improve on your end. Wendy, it's always good to talk to you. Realsteps.org is a place you can go and check out.
It is. And it is November officially. Elena moved across the planet, and we had we're back on track, though. Everyone is.
Oh, good.
And we have a lot of really fun things. It's going to be a really great one. So November, emails will be coming out. So stick your email in on realsteps.org. I promise you will not be spammed.
Yep.
And we'll, it's going to be great. I'll talk more about it as we get going.
That's great. Where you say she moved across the world? Where'd she go?
Well, just Florida.
Oh.
But
might as well be.
We did have a very hilarious conversation about her kids in school there, and I was like, I don't think Florida's okay.
No,
guys.
Florida's messed up. Something's up there. They got issues.
It's rough.
It's kind of across the board
sunny.
there. Yeah, I have friends who they're like diehard Floridians and love their state, and they're talking about moving. That's how bad some of them feel about how things are going.
She's like, the school bus didn't come for a week and a half, and they never said anything.
Wow. Jeez.
Things are
I'm like,
weird.
you might want to, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Drive
know what
to
you're
school.
going to do.
Anyway, but it's going to be great. Sorry to divert, but yeah, the real step's going to be a blast. We have a lot of good, fun, new things and lots of cool people. So
coming soon, everyone. Keep your eye on the prize. Wendy, we'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
All righty. That was great.
That was great.
It was a good one. I hope that helped. Anyone who was listening, really. Hey, look, we got a little schedule stuff coming up, a little PSA. We got a couch party tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time.
Right.
Patrons, you know what to do.
It's going to be the last time you hear me for a few days.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to hear Brian till like Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, you hear him on Film Sack this weekend, but
you will hear me there.
Other than that. But couch party, we're finishing She-Hulk, and we're doing it tomorrow, 10 a.m. Be here if you want to watch that with us. It's a thing we do on Discord.
Finale.
And it will only let in patrons. So if you're not a patron, maybe still get in. You could get in if you went in today for $1. You could watch with us tomorrow.
Get in tomorrow.
Yeah. And if you can't be there for some reason, we record the whole thing in both video and audio, and we put that out on the Patreon as well. Coverville happening today.
Yeah, Coverville again. It's Styx. The music is Styx. 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Twitch.tv/Coverville. Some point going to be doing some more painting on stream. This Thanos is done. I kind of want to. Maybe I'll bring it over for the post show.
Yeah, you can get it. Yeah. How hard is it to grab? Is it a thing you can grab fast?
No, I can grab it in 10 seconds.
All right, Brian's going to grab his Thanos, and shake it around, and let it hang out for the world to see. I didn't know he had finished painting his Thanos. I knew he was working on it. I know he's working on his big Millennium Falcon deal, which we'll talk about in a second. Okay, here it comes. Look at this. Look at this.
I'm not bringing over the base because the base is massive. And because of shipping, I don't have his other arm connected.
Oh, look at that guy.
So I had to use tape, this blue painter's tape, and mask everything off. Painted the whole thing black and then masked off the areas that need to stay black and then did another spray with gold. And
looking tight.
This thing is, it's basically ready to ship. And then here's his...
his arm with his big swordy deal.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot easier to ship if I package this or wrap it separately from this whole dude.
That's really cool. That's looking good.
This is a commissioned print and paint job for Tweep in our community.
Oh, we love Tweep. Tweep's amazing.
Take a bunch of pictures of this thing and I'll put them up online. But this thing, it came out fantastic. It is beautiful.
Did you film? Didn't you stream the first part of your Millennium Falcon build?
I did, yeah, and figured out some things like better microphone I need to do. I've got my little Rode microphone that I'm going to use for it. Better lighting on me, even though the lighting on what I'm putting together. And I've got a little closer setup now for the camera, so you can see what I'm doing a little bit closer.
Nice.
But as soon as box number 2 comes in, we'll do that. But I might still do some mini painting on stream because I have 1,000 little mini Marvel characters that need to get painted so I need to get those streaming.
That'd be great. Coverville on, where'd you do it?
I did that on YouTube. So YouTube Coverville.
Okay.
YouTube.com/Coverville. No @ needed. And then the only Coverville the show and Guess the Connection will be on Twitch because of music stuff.
Yeah.
Since I don't do a VOD, it's like, let's do it over on Twitch. You see it live or you get the podcast, but no VOD storage. And I want to have other things be stored on YouTube.
Yeah, Twitch only goes after you for archive stuff. It seems like they don't have a good police for the live stuff so much.
No.
If you're big enough, if you were doing like let's say you had 50,000 concurrent watchers and you were watching, I don't know, Die Hard or something, they would get you. But
they'd get it. They'd get a little upset, but no, they don't care about the live stuff, especially since I can, show them emails and show them the files from labels and artists that they sent for me to play on the show, and and of course my ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC license receipts.
That's right.
Jeez.
Yeah, gotta pay for that shit. Core is also happening tonight, 5 p.m. So our normal time. We have a lot to say. We're probably going to vent pretty hard on this Unity news. For those following it, you'll know what I'm talking about. We'll talk about that and a bunch of other stuff. Also, my singular obsession this week has been Starfield and nothing but. So
every time somebody talks about it, I'm like, I just want to buy it. I just want to buy it.
Game's really good. It's really solid. I mean, like I always say, if you don't like Bethesda games, you're probably not going to like this. But if you love them the way I do, you're gonna eat this shit up.
Cool.
Anyway, that's tonight, 5 p.m. for the live show, and then, of course, up on the podcast right after that. FilmSack is also having an episode this weekend. We're doing the Born Ultimatum, or as I used to call it, the Bored Old Tomato. That will be tonight, this weekend, Saturday. So tune in your FilmSack ears for that. Should be a good time. Oh, and we had a lightning strike yesterday, and it totally zapped everything out for me, and I lost power for a while. So we couldn't do Play Retro on time until it came back, and then it was too late. So we're doing it Saturday after FilmSack. So when FilmSack ends at around 11:30 or so, Brian Dunaway and I will fire up that episode. So there will still be a Play Retro this week. Don't you worry your little heads.
Cool.
All right, that's it. Patreon.com/TMS for all other support and needs. We'd love it if you guys head over there today and check that out and become one of our supporters. Huge thanks to those who do. Frogpants.com/TMS has links to everything else you need, including requesting songs or getting the mega feed or a million other things we do here on TMS. It's all linked over there. So go check it out. That'll do it for us. Brian, let's play a song and go.
I love that idea, Scott. And this Thanos here just worries me so much. It's like, this is hours worth of work here. Siren X wrote in and said, tomorrow, September 15th, will be the 17th anniversary of my 21st birthday.
Oh my gosh. Let's give him, you know what, Siren X, since it's you, let's give you the alternate. The one I have to put it in proper place here, but let's just see. Yeah. Birthday. Okay, here it is, right here. This is for you.
Happy birthday.
Ugh, makes me uncomfortable.
It really does.
Yeah.
5 months late. My request for April 15th didn't happen because that was the one day that month that Scott had to cancel at the last minute. So I'm finally getting around to trying again. Can I get a let's test the ship's phasers, honk yours in this life and the next, Cyrenex Sean?
I think so. Let's see. Phasers are here.
Let's test the ship's phasers.
Oh, is it the one that's combined? Is that what he's talking about? Or is there?
Is there one that is combined?
I can't remember what I did. Wasn't there something like that? I don't remember.
I think there might have been.
Oh, Gabe Simpson says no.
No.
Let's see. Let's find. What was the other one?
Honk.
Oh, the honk guy. Okay, there he is, right
Perfect.
there.
Excellent. And Cyrenex says, anything you think would sound good during a dramatic fight scene in an action movie? Well, geez. Thanks for narrowing it down for me, Cyrenex. You make me not regret when we got rid of all three you Seans on ANTP. But all right, fine. How about this one right here? From the appropriately named band Cybertronic Spree, they did a cover album in 2019 of the soundtrack to the 1986 Transformers movie. And they covered the Autobot Decepticon battle from that soundtrack, originally done by Vince DiCola. Here's Cybertronic Spree and Autobot Decepticon battle.
Get more at frogpants.com.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
You ate it, Ralph.
You ate it, Ralph.
Remember that commercial like yesterday.
I totally do.